Hare Krishna. We continue reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is. We are on chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge, text 12. Moga shamoga karmano,
Moga shamoga karmana,
moga jnana vichetasaha,
moga jana chetaha,
rakshashim asurim cheva,
राक्षसीमासुरीं चैव
prakritim mohinim shritaha.
प्रकृतिं मोहिनीं श्रितः.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demoniac and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated. So Krishna says in the previous verse, in the 11th verse, that fools deride me when I descend in this human-like form, because they cannot understand my transcendental nature as the Supreme Lord of all. So now he's continuing. He's saying those who are thus bewildered, means those who think Krishna is an ordinary person and who cannot understand that he's God. So he's saying that those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demoniac and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and the culture of knowledge are all defeated. So if we don't accept God, means we are being atheistic. We may not outrightly deny the existence of God, but we may package it under different isms, under impersonalism, or by engaging completely in karmic activities, thinking that only the law of karma is superior, there's no God. So Krishna is saying in such cases, then what is the hope of liberation? Because one can get liberation only if we surrender to Krishna. But if we think Krishna is not God, Krishna cannot help me, then who is going to help us? Then what is the hope for us? Because he said that already in 7 chapter 14, that you surrender to me and I will give you liberation. I will take you out. But if we think Krishna does not exist, that Krishna is not God, means we are not going to surrender to him. Then how are we going to get liberation? What is the hope to get liberation? This is what he's saying. There are many devotees who assume themselves to be in Krishna consciousness and devotional service, but at heart do not accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, as the absolute truth. For them, the fruit of devotional service going back to Godhead will never be tasted. So we may be engaged outwardly in hearing and chanting. We may be doing that, but till the time we do not accept Krishna as God, as absolute truth, we would not be able to go back to back home. Why? Because then we are not able to take complete shelter of Krishna. But then what to do? We may say, but I'm not able to take complete shelter of Krishna, but I want to go back home, back to Godhead. Yeah, then what do? We continue to engage in devotional service. Our surrender happens in small baby steps, or small micro MMs or whatever. So we continue to engage in devotional service. Don't give it up. Continue to hear and chant. Similarly, those who are engaged in fruitive pious activities and who are ultimately hoping to be liberated from this material entanglement will never be successful either, because they deride the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. In other words, persons who mock Krishna are to be understood to be demoniac or atheistic. So Krishna, he says that there's either the divine or the demoniac. Now someone will say, what do you mean? I may not be divine, but I'm not demoniac either. But we are not saying that. It's Krishna's words. And also another point to understand that in Kali Yuga, where does the demon reside? In Satyug, the demons used to reside in completely different planet, like Hiranyakashipu. Then in Treta Yuga, the demons used to reside in another country, like how Ravan was in another country. In Dwapar Yuga, the demon used to reside in the same family, like Duryodhan was living with the Pandavas. And in Kali Yuga, the demon resides within us. The divine and the demoniac are within the same body. So what is the hope? We continue to hear and chant. The more we hear and chant, the more our divine qualities will be enhanced and the demoniac qualities will go away. As described in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, such demoniac miscreants never surrender to Krishna. Therefore, their mental speculations to arrive at the absolute truth bring them to the false conclusion that the ordinary living entity and Krishna are one and the same. So, if we want to understand God by not following the scriptures or not following the pure devotees, what's going to happen is we are going to ultimately think, I am God. That, okay, I have forgotten God, I am God, but after I get liberated, I will become God. Because that's how far the mind can go. It's all on the mental platform. And why does that happen? Is because we are not hearing from the scriptures, not hearing about God, not hearing about the transcendental platform. So with such a false conviction, they think that the body of any human being is now simply covered by material nature. And that as soon as one is liberated from this material body, there is no difference between God and himself. This attempt to become one with Krishna will be baffled because of delusion. So there is in no condition that we can become one with Krishna. There is never going to be that point. Why? Because we are all eternal. When we say one with Krishna means we can be together with him, engage in pastimes. Or one with Krishna means we are engaging in his service. Yeah, we have the same goal, doing the same, working towards the same goal. But never are we going to become Krishna. Not that we are going to enter his body and we are going to become Krishna. It never happens. Why? Because we are individual souls. We are eternal. That means that is the meaning of spirit. Spirit means which never dies, never is annihilated. So we are individuals. We are individually conscious of our existence. We will always be individually conscious of our existence. So it's never going to happen that we are going to become God one day. That is an illusion. Such atheistic and demoniac cultivation of spiritual knowledge is always futile. And this tendency is called demoniac and atheistic. Why? Because it means we want to take away God's position and become God ourselves. We are saying that I'm God myself. So that's being atheistic. We want to kill God. Demons always wanting to kill God. We always hear in the past times. Hiranyakashipu wanted to kill Lord Nishingadev, Ravan wanted to kill Lord Rama. So that's a demoniac tendency. So by saying that one day I will become Krishna, one day I'll become God, means we want to kill Krishna. That is atheistic, demoniac. So we need to give up this tendency. Then how will we be able to give it up? We need to hear about Krishna. From Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. We need to hear about the truth. We need to chant the holy name. Then gradually, we will be able to give up this. That is the indication of this verse. For such persons, cultivation of the knowledge in the Vedic literature, like the Vedanta Sutra and the Upanishads, is always baffled. So if we want to kill Krishna and we are going to study some scriptures, we won't be able to understand the meaning of the scriptures. So what we have to do is we hear from the devotees. We hear the transcendental literature from the devotees, then we will be able to understand the absolute truth. It is a great offense, therefore, to consider Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to be an ordinary man. Krishna is not an ordinary man. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is Sarva Karana Karanam, cause of all causes. He is Govindam Adi Purusham, Tam Aham Bhajam. He is Govindam Adi Purusham, original person, Govinda. Lord Brahma is saying such prayers. So those who do so are certainly deluded because they cannot understand the eternal form of Krishna. So if we think that Krishna is an ordinary man, that God is an ordinary man, then we are in delusion. And then our material existence continues. We'll continue to remain in the material world because we are not able to understand Krishna's position, our relationship with him. We each have an eternal loving relationship with Krishna. We simply have to revive this relationship. The Brahad Vishnu Smriti clearly states, Yoveti bhautikam deham Krishnasya paramatmanaha sa sarvasmad bahiskaryaha shrauta smarta vidhanataha mukham tasyavalokyapi sachilam snanamachare. One who considers the body of Krishna to be material should be driven up from all rituals and activities of the Shruti and Smriti. So who is saying this? This the Brahad Vishnu Smriti is stating it. And if one by chance sees his face, he should at once take his bath in the Ganges to rid himself of infection. So means we should associate with people who have faith in Krishna, the devotees. Associate with the devotees. People jeer at Krishna because they are envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the reason why we don't want to accept Krishna as God, because we are envious. We are like, why is he God? Why can't I be God? Maybe I'm God, who knows? Maybe I just forgot I'm God. Why can't she be God or he be God? Why Krishna has to be God? Because of this envy of ours. We are here in the material world. So their destiny is certainly to take birth after birth in the species of atheistic and demoniac life. Perpetually the real knowledge will remain under delusion, and gradually they will regress to the darkest region of creation. So we need to hear and chant about Krishna so that this envy that we are holding on to against Krishna can go away. So that we can go back home, back to Godhead as eternal souls, be situated in the spiritual world instead of going to the hellish regions in hellish bodies. Is that okay? So the more we hear, the more we chant, the more the envy of Krishna reduces. So we continue to hear and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for listening and joining in.